Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on this gorgeous little crocheted version of the feather. It is a final part of this tutorial. We are making two today. I'll only be showing you one. They're both exactly the same. So there you go. I mean, look, it's short. I can't get it all in. Sorry guys. For this tutorial, you will need your 3.5mm hook. You actually will need this, not this particular hook, but a 2.5mm hook, because yours truly crocheted. Once I did the actual feather, I popped the hook through the top stitch there and started crocheting the thinner part of it with the smaller size hook on purpose to give it that different look. Okay, you will need your scissors. I think I used a 4mm hook for like one split second to pull a thread through here. I don't think I used it for much at all. You will need probably 2 stitch markers at least. You will need your scissors, your sewing needle. You will need your, I'm not sure if I used a measuring tape. I honestly cannot remember. I don't think I did, but I had it there from, you know, the previous tutorial when I used it for this one. You will need your tiny little bit of the orange yarn, and I mean really tiny, because look, it's only one row there and one row on the other one, so very minimal. Oh, was it one row? Yeah, one row. You'll need a little bit of your green and a little bit of your medium color green as well. So really, for these particular feathers, they don't take much yarn at all. I mean, look at that. Are they not gorgeous? Let's see if I can try and get it in full for you. Oh, I will have a picture at the end of the tutorial for you anyway, and I think I've popped some in the promo there for you as well. So there you go guys. I'm not going to talk anymore because like most of my tutorials, they do go a long time. We are just going to get started on our gorgeous crocheted feather. Good luck guys. Alright, the stitches you will need for this tutorial are chain stitches, a slip stitch. Definitely need a slip stitch at the beginning. You will need to know how to do double crochets. You will need to know how to do double crochet 3 together, and you will need to know how to do a treble front post. Okay, so that's easy. Well, no, it's not. It is kind of easy if you think about it. Once you know it, it's quite repetitive, the pattern. So that's the bonus about it all. Oops, too close. All right. Of course, before anything, we tend to do a quick slip knot, and that is your yarn over your finger once and twice, holding it there and down there. Pop your back loop halfway over, holding it there. Pop the other loop all the way over, grab your 3.5mm hook and pull your loop through. Okay, and here we go. So we are chaining up 10. So yarn over your hook, pull a loop through once and twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now an unusual way of starting, but we are starting with slip stitches across. So you just find that first loop. You don't find 2 loops, just one little loop from that stitch. Okay, and all you're doing is pulling a thread through and pull it through to the loop on your hook. And you're doing that again. A second slip stitch. Okay, and a third, and a fourth, and a fifth, and that's it. All right, so you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 chains left on that side. Now we are going to chain up another 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, what you should have is that little Y looking thing. Yes. Now you're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. And in the 4th stitch, you are putting your first double crochet. So you go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you're putting a double crochet right there. Okay. So yarn over your hook, pop your hook in that little loop, pull up your loop like normal, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through your last 2. and that's your first double crochet. Now you're going to do a second double crochet in exactly the same space. Okay, now for these next 3 loops, 1, 2 and 3, you are going to be doing 3 double crochets together. Okay, so this is actually called 3 together. Okay, 3 double crochets together. It's also known as a decrease stitch. All right, so you've increased all these 3 here. Now you're going to decrease in the middle. So yarn over, pop your hook in your first stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook like normal, yarn over, pull through the first 2, hold it there. You're going to do it again. Yarn over, pop it in your next stitch, not the same stitch, your very next one. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, hold it there. Do it again, yarn over and go into your next stitch. With a normal double crochet, pull up a loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, pull through the first 2. You should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Okay, not tricky, just have to remember when to do everything. Okay, now we are going to do a treble, and a treble is yarn over your hook twice. Okay, and it's going to go in that big space that you see right there. Pop your treble in there. Okay, pull up your loop, you should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the middle 2, yarn over, pull through your last 2. Okay, so your next 1, 2, 3 stitches, you're going to do that 3 together again. Okay, so yarn over, pop it in the top loop right there, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, hold it there, yarn over, pop into your next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, hold it there and do it again into the next one. Okay, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook, and in that last stitch right there you're putting 3 double crochets. That's easy. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now we're going to turn our work, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and you're going to put, this is where normally we would put our double crochets through both loops, but we are going to pop our double crochet in that back loop only right there, in the same stitch that we just did our chains in. Okay, so it's actually, normally we would jump straight into the next one, but we are going the same stitch and in the back, so remembering 2 things. Okay, so you're doing your normal double crochet, but you're putting it in the back loop right there, and do your normal double crochet, holding it there. All right, what I want you to do just quickly is pop your stitch marker in that front loop, because when we turn around, that is going to be your back loop. All right, when you come back around, you'll understand what I mean. Okay, we'll understand when I messed up over here because I didn't put one in over here. So there you go. All right, you're popping another double crochet in that same stitch. Okay, so altogether you've got 2 double crochets and you chain 3. Well, that'll be classified as a double crochet. Okay, now you are doing your 3 together. Remember the 3 together? And we are doing them all in the back loop again. So we are grabbing that back loop only with a normal double crochet, get halfway through it and stop. Yarn over, a normal double crochet in your next space, halfway through it and stop. Normal double crochet in your next stitch, halfway through, hold it there, should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. So here we did a treble in the previous round. Okay, in this round we're going to do a front post treble. I know it sounds daunting, but it's actually not that difficult. Okay, it's yarn over your hook and you're going in the back of that stitch right behind the post, pulling it through to the front. Okay, so all you've done is gone right behind there, and then popping it back into the front from the opposite side. So you're actually going around the post, like you're having a bit of a dance around it, if that helps. Then you yarn over and you pull up a loop, make it fairly loose, okay? So you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through your next 2, yarn over, pull through your last 2. So it's elongated the stitch, okay? Here, we're going to do our 3 together again. It's these 3 stitches and not in the back of that big gap space you see there, all right? So you've got to skip over that little gap space, turn your work to you, and then you can see your back loop of your next space. So skip that big space there, looks like a hole. It will cover up later, trust me. Pop your hook in and start doing your double crochet. Get halfway through it, hold it there, go into your next one, halfway through it, hold it there, go into your next, halfway through it, and then you've got your 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Now here's where I should have put that stitch marker, and I didn't. So we've got to try and find the back loop of this double crochet, which is quite easy to find. Sometimes it's not easy, but it is there. Okay, so pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and do 2 more in there, like normal. Actually, stop when you get to that, because we're going to change our colour. We're going to go to the light green. All right, so grabbing your light green or whatever colour you want to use, I'm using the light green. Okay, so you just grab your light green, you pull your loop through like normal, and there you go. Okay, so now you are turning your work around like so, chaining up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and again you are popping your hook in that back loop right there as your front. We're going straight into the back right there, like so. Okay, that's 1. Now before you go on, grab your stitch marker and pop it in. Oh, this is not a very good stitch marker. Let's give it a stretch. And pop it in the loop of the chain before it. That will be your back loop when we come back around later. I'm only doing this to help you find your back loop, okay, at the end of the row. And your second one right there. And I'm actually going to crochet over that light green, okay. The dark green I'm not going to do much with, but I'm going to crochet over the light green. It'll help us weave that in later. There. And now you have your double crochet 3 together right across, and I'm still going to crochet over it, okay. So pop your hook in your back loop, if you can see it there. Yes, start your double crochet, hold it there, grab your hook again in your next back loop right there, start your double crochet, hold it there, and then grab your next one right there. And I think that's as far as I'm going to go with crocheting over the tail end. There's your 4 loops, yarn over, pull through. I'm going to leave that tail end. We're going to weave it in later as well. Okay, now we're up to our treble front post. Pop everything out the way, do your treble. Every time you do a front post from now on, you will be doing your front post not in the row before, but the row before that. So find your front post from the row before. So it's actually 2 rows back if you think about it. Pull up your loop really tall, nice and tall, because see how it's pulling? You don't want that. You don't want that pulling. A little bit is fine. It does straighten out afterwards, trust me. And then just pull the loop through, 2 and 2, and then the last 2. Okay, now yarn over your hook. We're going to do that 3 together again, remembering not to go into this space right here at all. So the way I remember where to go is right in that cluster set right there. That's how I remember where to go, if that helps. So yarn over, pop your hook in. We're doing our 3 together. Yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're doing it in the second one. 2, And we're doing it in the next one, if I can get in there. There is a stitch there, it's just fairly tight for some reason. Oh, because the stitch marker's pulling it probably from the other angle. Okay, there you go. Oh, really is pulling at it. Oh, fairly tight stitch right there. I don't know, I've just split the yarn. Here we go, we're in. Sorry guys. Pull up your loop, pull through 2, and then you've got your 4 loops, pull through all 4 loops, and there's your back loop. It's a bit pulley at the moment, just give it a bit of a tug. You can probably, because it's pulled so much, you can probably take that stitch marker out, give it a bit of a tug, and you're doing your 3 double crochets in that stitch right there. 1, 2, and 3. I'm just going to do something here, just give it a bit of a tug. It'll all fall back into place later when we start closing up shop, but for now just give it a tug, turn your work, chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, do your double crochet in your back loop, your first one, and your second one. I'm not going to be putting that, I might still put the stitch marker in. Okay, now because we've done all 3, your stitch marker needs to go in the front of that first one right there, of that chain. Okay, so there's your double crochet, your second double crochet, and that's your very first chain. It's your third chain actually from your first stitch. Okay, now you are doing your 3 together again. Start it, jump into your next, start it, jump into your next, or your last I should say, start it, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Now remember that treble row that we're going to do, the treble back post. Let's move that thread out the way. It's the reason why I didn't want to crochet over that tail end. I wanted you to see this part. You yarn over, remember we said we don't put the treble front post there, we put the treble front post in the post of the row below it. So start your treble, we're not going there, we are going straight down in that bottom row right there, yarn over, pull up a loop nice and tall, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. We are doing 3 together again, missing that big gap, getting into the big first cluster with a back loop of double crochet 3 together in that first one, and your next, and your next. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Now there's your back stitch right there. You are going to pop 3 double crochets in that stitch right there. 1. In fact, I would take that stitch marker out now. I had to pick up that naughty stitch marker. That's the naughty one. It's going in the naughty corner after this tutorial, I'll tell you that. 2. I think I should go in the naughty corner too. 3. All right. Don't finish this third one because we are changing to our orange. Here we go. Now I'm going to crochet over the orange tail. Oops. Pull that orange tail through. Okay. Turn your work. Chain 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now we are popping our 2 double crochets in that back loop, and I am crocheting over my tail. 1 and 2. Okay. Now I'm going to crochet 3 together again in this round, and I'm crocheting over the tail as well. So go to your back loops with your 3 together. 1 2, oops, and 3. Pulling your loop through all 4 loops, drop your tail now, yarn over your hook twice, skipping that row, jumping down to the row beneath it with your treble front post. And there you go. A little bit tricky, but not completely difficult, giving it a bit of a tug. That's better. Giving it a tug sorts it all out. And you're doing your 3 together in your next 1, 2, and 3. And you are putting your 3 double crochets in that very last stitch, not finishing your last stitch because we're going to change back to the green. 2 and 3. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to cut the green from that side right there, which I do often in my tutorials. So just give it a cut, grab your green and get ready to attach. There's your green. Okay, so we pulled our loop through, and yours truly forgot to put a loop on this stitch marker on this side, so we kind of have to work it out. Never mind, it happens. Now remembering to crochet over that tail end. Whoops, too far away, sorry guys. Turning your work like normal, chaining your 3. 1, 2 and 3. Now you're doing your 2 double crochets in there like normal. 1 and 2, and I'm crocheting over that tail end, yes, like so. And I am actually going to pop the stitch marker in this side because I know for a fact that we are going to have trouble finding that back loop. We will. So there's your first stitch, there's your second, and there is your third. Okay, so grab your hook. All right, now this row is the same as every other row, but your next row is going to change, okay? If you want, just give that orange a cut because yours truly forgot to do it, and we're going to have oranges dangling all over the place. And that's really all you needed for your orange, was just a tiny little strip, yeah? Okay, and in fact, all these cottons are very minimal. There's minimal used during this particular tutorial. Oh, that didn't work. Let's go that way. That's better. All right, so now what are we doing? We're doing our 3 together. So yarn over, pop it in your back loop. I'm still crocheting over that tail. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, start again, go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into your next. Oh, it's a little bit tricky, that stitch, for some reason. And pulling up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, pull through all 4 loops, dropping that tail now, we don't need that anymore. Yarn over twice. We are going to do that treble front post again. Okay, so we're skipping this row, jumping right down to that front post, being careful not to grab all these little ends of threads everywhere. I wouldn't take that one either. All right, you ready? Yarn over, pull up a loop, nice and tall, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through your next 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now we are doing our 3 together again, remembering not to touch this space right here, just going into that next stitch with 3 together. 1, 2, and 3. Pull a loop all the way through. Now remember, we forgot to put the stitch marker. I forgot to put the stitch marker. So we're just going to have to hope that we're getting the back loop. I believe we are, so that's good. So you pop in your 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now this row is going to be a tad different, this next row. Okay, you're still doing what you're doing, but we're going to start decreasing just so that we can make the point of our feather. Okay, so turning your work like normal, chaining up 3 like normal, 1, 2 and 3. Let me get a close up so you can see. We're not going to be popping, we're still going to be putting our normal double crochet in that back loop right there, just the one for now. And that's it for this side. We're still going to pop our, where is that stitch marker? It's all the way over here, still in the stitch that it was 100 years ago. Okay, so we're still going to pop our stitch marker in here because I don't want to confuse you. Okay, I probably already have. Okay, so grab your stitch marker and right there is your stitch, right there. Your front stitch now becomes your back stitch when you turn your work around. Okay, if that helps. All right, there you go. Now you are still putting your 3 together. Even though we've only put 1 in here instead of 2, you are putting your 3 together across the row like normal. Whoops, it's a little bit too loose. I don't know what I was thinking there. All right, so 3 together like normal. Ah, that's better. All right. That's going to change, I think, in the next round as well. Wait until I think about it. I got to stew over what I'm doing here. I forget the pattern. I don't do them very often, so I do tend to forget them. 4 loops, yarn over, pull through your 4 loops. All right, now your treble is yarn over twice again. If you remember, treble front post, I mean. You're skipping this row, you're jumping right down to your orange row, doing your front post or starting it. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2, doing your 3 together like normal across your row. 1, 2, and 3. Pull a loop through. Now you're doing only 2 double crochets in here. And what you've done to one side, you've got to do to the other. So you're only popping 2 double crochets in this stitch marker. 1 and 2. Don't finish it because we're changing back to our dark green or the medium green. And the best part is, guys, is that is our last color change for the day. So I'm going to cut it for this tutorial actually for the whole of our, oh look at this is why I can't find it, have a look at that, it's still attached. For the whole of our dream catcher, this is the last time we change our thread. So we are going to change our thread, we are going to crochet over that tail when we change it. So just pull your loop through like normal. I hope I didn't cut that green too short. No, I didn't. Good. All right, so you are chaining up 3 like normal. 1, 2 and 3. You're not putting a double crochet in there anymore, and you're not doing 3 together anymore. You are doing 2 together. So yarn over, and we're just jumping into the next stitch with our double crocheting 2 together. All right, 1, and I'm crocheting over that tail end into the very next one, 2. Okay, now 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, because before we were doing 3 together, now we were just doing 2. Before you go on, where's the stitch marker gone? It's still in there. I'm looking for it, it's still in there. I'm a duffer. Now, before you go on, just pop that stitch marker in that front stitch right there. Yeah, little bit tricky, but it's there. Right in that front stitch. Okay, now we're no longer working over tails, we are doing our front post treble. So yarn over your hook twice, not this row but the row just before it. We are popping our hook around the post, pulling up our loop. A little bit tricky now because I've got tail ends and everything everywhere. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 and then the second and then your third. All right, now again you're doing the same thing here that you did to this side. So you're crocheting 2 together only, making sure not to get in that space there. but the one next to it. So pop your double crochet in, start it, yes, then jump into your next stitch, start it, and there. Okay, now you do yarn over hook on all the way through. Now in this space here, you are only putting one double crochet. Done. Because we only chained up 3 on this side, so we only need 1 double crochet on that side. Best part about the next row, guys, is it's the final row. Oh, very exciting. Take your little stitch marker out. Oh, I made a mess of that. I've pulled that stitch far too loose. That's terrible. Okay, there you go. All right, now you turn your work like normal, chaining 1, 2 and 3. This row here, we're doing this, but we are doing it all together in the one stitch. All right, so you've got your 3 chains, you yarn over, you pop your double crochet in the first space, start it, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, hold it there. Remember your front post treble, yarn over twice. We're still going to do it. We're not going to go in the green, we're going in that light green down the bottom, starting it, pulling up a loop, got lots of loops now, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, should have 3 loops on your hook, hold it there. We're going to start a double crochet in that very next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pop it in your stitch marker stitch right there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull up a loop. All right, so you've actually practically done 2 knots there. And you want to, because you want to keep that nice and sturdy. Oh, you could take out that stitch marker now. So you still have lots of ends to weave in, but not as much. And half of it has already been weaved in for you. Look at that, and there you go. Oh, that's it. That's it. That is it. Now we're just going to quickly weave in one end, and then I'm going to send you off on your own to weave in the rest. Okay, now this one we haven't crocheted over, have we? All right, so the ones that we've crocheted over, I'm going to let you weave them in because that'll be a lot easier. But the ones that we haven't crocheted over that are just hanging somewhere, all you need to do is find a stitch that may help you hide it. And I think going in right here, there, for me, is a good thing. I'm making your tail a little bit shorter so you can work with. All right, but entirely up to you. And then I'm thinking of just coming across through some of these. Oh, wait a minute, this is the front. We want to go through the back. That's the front of your work. How you can tell the front, the very first chains we did were here. Then we turned our work and we did double crochets across. So that is the nice looking side. So that is the front of your work. And you've got all your front posts in the front. At the back you have them, but it's more bubbled, the work is a little bit more bubbled. Oh, sorry, it's a little bit more bubbled. So I would actually grab this thread, pop it through a stitch in the back anywhere you like. I don't know if you saw that. Sorry, I'll do that again. So this is where I am up the top, popping it through any stitch you like at the back, right there. Pulling that loop through, turning your work at the back and weaving in through the back wherever you want. I can feel that coming through the other side. All right, there we go. So you can't see it on the other side, the needle, pull it through and down we go. All right, I don't think that's enough. I want to do one more. Remember, we don't actually knot our work. Or I don't, that is. I don't know whether you do. You see the needle? Nope. So you're going to pull it through and pull it up nice and tight. Give it a cut. And that one there is done. If you give it a tug, it kind of snugs back in. All right, that's that one. And now these ones here, you just weave them back in the other way. So what I would like for you to do now, head off on, how gorgeous is that? I mean, really, how gorgeous is it? Oh. Head off on your own, weave in all these ends, and then meet me back here and we will attach our little one right there. Oh, okay, a little bit lower. There. Oh, even lower. How's that? Almost looks even. Oh, you know why it's not even? There you go. That's better. It doesn't matter. We're going to do that in a few minutes. So head off on your... How gorgeous this is going to look. Head off on your own. Finish off your tails and meet me back here in a moment so we can attach it to the dream catcher. Ta-da! There it is. All right. So how you can tell the front to the back is when you're looking at it that way, right? You can see a flatter edge in front and a flatter tail. If you look at it that way, it's kind of bubbled and it's got a bubbled tail. We want the front facing us. So we want the tail to be turned that way. We're going to grab a piece of green thread. Doesn't matter how much you use. Really, it doesn't matter. What we're going to, we'll just move this guy out the way for a second, just so you can do this part with me. All right, you're going to use your thinner hook for this part here. So you're going to pop your hook in the stitch, the last stitch of your leaf, grabbing your tail end and just pulling it through like normal. You're working in your tail end. Now, just for this part here, I want you to chain all the loops together and pull them through your stitch. All right, that'll be chain 1, by the way. Drop your tail end. You will need to weave that in later. Okay, but not now. So that's chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Pull it. Oh gosh, I've just split that yarn. Of course I have. Dear me. Just pulling that loop up without splitting it. You know why? Because this yarn is not made for that hook. It's made for a 4mm hook. It's easy to split. All right, now from memory, I think I popped mine in the third one. 1, 2, and there's your third one. 1, 2, and it goes right up there. So your hook, let me turn this guy around. Okay, 1, 2, and in there's third one. Your hook should go in that space of the third one. Yes, grabbing your tail. I'm hoping this is right because I can't remember how I joined it. Can you believe it? It was a while back, you know, like, you know, half an hour ago. I should know this, shouldn't I? I should have written it down, but anyway. Pull the loop through, and I've just split the yarn. This is where I remember using the larger size hook, the 4mm hook I used to do this part, because the yarn kept splitting. I'm starting to get memory back now. Just pull that loop up a little bit. I'm going to make some more tail there. That's it. All right, so you're pulling your loop through, okay? I'm sorry, we will need to take that 4mm out again. Sorry guys, pop your 2.5mm back in, only because we need to go into, let's get a close-up of this part. We need to go into one of the stitches up the top there. Okay, so really all you're doing is popping your hook in and pulling a loop through, right? Oh, I've split the yarn already. Oh, I'm doing well. Pulling your loop through there and through to the loop on your hook, giving everything a big tug. Yeah, now before you go ahead and knot everything into place, this is where you have time to fix the length of your tail. Okay, oh, I've just pulled the thread out. That's not going to help at all. Okay, you may have time to fix your tail if it's wrong, you know, it might be crooked. Okay, there. Ta-da! Oops. Can you see? We're right in the middle there. Are they perfect or close to it? Don't have to be completely perfect. Sure are. Turning your dream catcher around. I'm making a big mess here, guys. Okay, guys, yours truly, Stan, just collapsed. I've got to stick that in the bloopers too. I tell you what, I'm doing well. You had one job, Mary, just to attach the thing to the frame. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we are. We're going to pop a chain through, like so. Lift up the loop. I've already cut mine. You probably haven't, but if you haven't, you can cut it now. Okay. This is the easy part, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how much work this has gone through for one tiny little, you know, just attach it to the loop. You would think I'd have it a lot easier attaching to the ring. I'm hoping I can do this right. All right. So you want to, I've turned the dream catcher to the back. You want to make sure that you are weaving at the back, all right? So all you're really doing is, if you've done yours a little bit loose like mine, you might want to tighten it. So really you're just going through some of this here, okay? Now if you find it's too loose and it was a bit longer, really pull that thread up, pull it through there and through there and tighten it. So what you're doing is you're sewing that together, a little tiny bit together when it comes through, when I can sew it through properly, and you pull it real tight. Then you are attaching to your dream catcher. See the threads, how I'm sewing onto the actual dream catcher now? So what that's going to do is tighten everything for you. The knot is at the back, so no one's going to see it, all right? It's a tiny knot anyway. It's very small if you think about it. Pop your loop through again, and that's all you're doing. You're going over and over and over it until it's really tight, which I believe it's really, really tight now. I'm going to go back the other way because I would like to weave in this end. All right, so keep going back and forth. I'm going to cut it now. Oh, it's going to be cut by itself anyway, the way we're going. We're going to give it a cut now. All right, so we still need to weave in one last end before we do our victory dance. Well, for those of you who are joining us new, yours truly does do a little victory dance after every major project. This was a major project. All right, so this was the one that was attached to the leaf that we attached the first time, and I told you to do that extra knot. That was just for security, so we're just going to go back a little bit through the other way. This is, notice how I turned it to the back. I turned it to the back part. It doesn't really matter because you shouldn't be able to see it. I went through once. We're going to go down another area, and that's going to be the twice. There's no right or, oh sorry, I won't do that. We're going to bring that out a bit. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. Just in any stitches you like, backward and forward, twice, one more time, because we've already knotted it, if you remember correctly, when we first started. And there you go. Now all you do is cut your little guy or your tail, turn your little guy around and admire your work. Ta-da! I can't get it in. I did try to get it in. I really can't. I'm just going to have to, we'll have to stand on my tippy toes, and I can't get any higher than that. Hey, I'm short. But there you go. How gorgeous does it look? Let me get a nice close-up for you. I love, 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 love. Let's have a look at young Joey. Oh, I love Joey. Joey's my favourite of the project. And there you go, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and do all those wonderful things that you do for me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And all I want to say right now is ciao for now.